What's up, Spud Nation? Week 1 fantasy football, some rankings, some bust plays, some sleepers, some guys to keep your eye on. All right here. Check me out, sportscoach.com. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, appreciate it. If you ever need to get a hold of me, email craig@thesportscoach.com. My Twitter handle, thesportscoach. Hit me on Facebook. I'm everywhere, and I am ready to help you guys maximize your lineup. So let's get started. I forgot to tell you, Craig and Lawson are here. 1 month old. He's getting up there. Wow. The kid loves his fantasy football, though. Guru in the making. All right, quarterbacks. Here we go. Number 1, Peyton Manning, undoubtedly the guy. You have him. You took him in the first round, and he's going to lead your team. Number 2, Drew Brees. As consistent as they come, Drew Brees, you're going to love having him in your lineup. Number 3, A-Rod. I know he's going against the Seattle defense, but this isn't the time to get cute. You drafted A-Rod to start for you, and week 1 is the time for you to play your studs. Don't get smart. Don't get cute. You play your studs. You go out there and you see what they're made of. There will be some guys who merge onto the scene who you didn't know about. There's going to be guys that flop. It happens. But you drafted studs, so you play them. A-Rod is that perfect case. Some people want to get cute. They think, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers versus Seattle. And maybe they have a mid-level guy like Russell Wilson. What should I do? You start Aaron Rodgers, you draft him for a reason, and roll him out there. The guy's going to put up numbers no matter what defense is in his face. Number 4, Matthew Stafford. 5, Kaepernick. I love his matchup. Dallas has humongous holes, and hopefully Kaepernick and that 49er offense can take advantage. The preseason wasn't pretty, but again, Kaepernick is the type of player and has the type of offensive weapons to win you a week. So, play that matchup, and this isn't getting cute. This is Kaepernick. You drafted him to be your starter. Put him out there. Do work. Number 6, Andrew Luck. I love Andrew Luck. Continues to come into his own, has a lot of weapons. Although the running game is horrible in Indy, Andrew Luck's passing game is fantastic. Nick Foles, number 7. Matt Ryan, number 8. I'm looking for a huge year out of Matt Ryan. Healthy wide receivers, Matt Ryan should be spectacular. Tom Brady, number 9. Russell Wilson, 10. Jay Cutler with those gigantic weapons, number 11. Tony Romo. Dallas is going to be playing from behind often. That means Tony Romo is going to be throwing to Dez Bryant early and often with a little bit of Terrence Williams sprinkled in there. Look for Romo to put up great fantasy numbers, while Dallas should not be a very fantastic NFL team. Andy Dalton, 13. 14, RG3. High hopes for RG3 out of everyone, me included. I'm an RG3 owner, hoping that this preseason was a fluke. He's got a lot of weapons. He looks healthy, so let's see if he can get it together and put together a nice week 1. Big Ben, number 15. Phillip Rivers, 16. Cam Newton, number 17. Carson Palmer, number 18. Number 19, Jake Locker. 20, Geno Smith. And I decided to throw Derek Carr in there at 21. He gets the start. He's a rookie. Again, Oakland should be the type of team that isn't going to be playing from ahead an awful lot. So look for Derek Carr to be throwing it a lot. Some sleepers I have this year. Jake Locker. I like what Jake Locker can do, both with his legs and his arm, if he is healthy. That's a big if. It hasn't happened, but look for Locker to put together a very successful year if healthy. Geno Smith. I think he's going to take a big step forward this year. He had a solid preseason, enough to secure him the starting job. He puts in a true number 1 receiver in Eric Decker. I like Geno Smith a lot this year. Very athletic quarterback. Derek Carr, we talked about a little bit. Carson Palmer. With the amount of weapons that guy has at his disposal, look for an increase in what he did last year. He threw for over 4,000 yards last year. Look for an uptick this year. A lot of people are talking 5,000 yards. I think that might be a stretch, but look for anywhere in the 4,600 yards, which is a fantastic year out of a quarterback. Some stretches here. Matt Castle. I'm high on Cordero Patterson. I think Matt Castle has enough weapons to consider himself a sleeper as to where he's getting drafted. His draft position is very low. I like Kyle Rudolph. I like Cordero Patterson. Greg Jennings is serviceable. I think Matt Castle can have a nice season. Although Teddy Bridgewater is knocking on that door very, very heavily, Matt Castle did enough to win that job. So look for him to continue that play and look for him to be successful. The bust this year, Eli Manning. I get so tired of hearing how good Eli Manning is when he continues to lay fantasy eggs. I'm staying away. I think he is a gigantic bust. Some running backs. We'll do the top 26, 27 running backs. We have McCoy. We have Jamal Charles. Monty Ball, number 3 overall. I love his matchup. I think Monte Ball could have a gigantic year, and it's going to start in week 1. I'm all in with this guy. If you had him on draft day, pat yourself on the back. Way to go. Adrian Peterson, number 4. Matt Forte, 5. Eddie Lacy, 6. Eddie Lacy going up against Seattle's D. Green Bay's going to feed him the ball. He's going to get 20 touches, and that's great for Lacy owners. Marshawn Lynch, 7. Arian Foster, 8. Alfred Morris, 9. Zach Stacy, 10. Talk about a guy that's going to get a ton of action. Zach Stacy is going to have to be a workhorse this year. Obviously, with Sam Bradford going down, Stacy is going to be looked upon to carry the load, and that's a huge load to carry for Stacy. But in the meantime, while healthy, getting the ball 20-plus times a game is going to be very beneficial to Stacy owners. Ben Tate, 11, another guy that's going to benefit from high-volume carries. Tate looked fantastic in the preseason, and Cleveland, without any wide receiver threats out there, they're going to have to hand the ball to Tate very, very often. Doug Martin, 12. 13, Reggie Bush. 14, DeMarco Murray. 15, Shane Vereen. I get very nervous with the New England Patriot running back situation, but this is the guy who's most consistent. Granted, he might only get 7 carries. He's going to get 10 receptions. So Shane Vereen, very, very active in the Patriots' offensive scheme. 16, C.J. Spiller. C.J. Spiller, another guy who worries me. But he's healthy, and this is the kind of guy who has explosion written all over him. He can single-handedly win you a fantasy league. I'm talking FanDuel Fantasy League. Big, gigantic leagues. He's a guy that not a lot of people put a lot of stock into. But if you do, and he has one of his explosive games, you're going to be smiling. 17, Giovanni Bernard. 18, Le'Veon Bell. 19, Andre Ellington. 20, Frank Gore. While Frank Gore is healthy, he's going to be a nice player. Not a huge breakout performer, especially with Carlos Hyde slowly cutting into his workload, but Frank Gore will be a nice running back too for anyone's team. 21, Ryan Matthews. 22, Toby Gerhart. Toby Gerhart, another guy who's looked upon to carry an extensive workload. The Jaguars went out there, they signed him, he was the guy they wanted. He has shown flashes that he has what he brought to the table in college to the NFL. I like Gerhart. I like his 20 touches a game. Very nice production, especially out of your running back too. 23, Steven Jackson. 24, Chris Johnson. 25, Maurice Jones-Drew. 26, Bernard Pierce. Bernard Pierce getting the nod over Ray Rice, obviously, with Ray Rice serving his suspension. Should get a little bump, obviously, in your lineup. And 27, Joique Bell. Joique Bell has to be mentioned. He's cutting carries with Reggie Bush. He's involved heavily in the passing game, and Detroit is going to have to score a lot of points. Some guys to keep an eye on. Carlos Hyde. I love Carlos Hyde. I drafted him in every league that I'm in. I'm hoping Frank Gore is just finally run down enough where they can hand the keys to the castle over to Carlos Hyde. He looked great when he got the ball. A lot of faith in that young man. Jeremy Hill, another guy, Cincinnati, cut ties with BenJarvus Green-Ellis. Jeremy Hill is now the change of pace back with Giovanni Bernard. He should get the short yardage stuff, the goal line stuff, and that turns into fantasy points. Some sleepers. Ben Tate. I'm saying Ben Tate, Arian Foster, Doug Martin, and Steven Jackson are all sleepers because coming into this year, people were down on them. They're looked upon as guys who had rough years last year who have nothing left in the tank. I like all four of them. If they can all stay healthy, they will be very, very productive. Foster and Martin especially. Some busts. Trent Richardson, Stephen Ridley. Ridley is quickly in the doghouse, in and out of lineups. Can't handle that on your fantasy squad. Staying away from Sankey from the Titans. Couldn't even beat out Sean Green for the starting nod. All of the Saints running backs. I know they all look good. Pierre Thomas looked great. And obviously Mark Ingram looked great this preseason as well. But when you're splitting carries with three guys, I can't handle that. Less than 10 carries a guy, you're just not getting the production that I need out of my running back. And also the Miami Dolphins. Lamar Miller, Knowshon Moreno, they're just not good enough to be in my lineup. I'm staying far, far away from that. And lastly, protect your investments. What do I mean by that? I mean if you are a Steven Jackson owner, I have Devonta Freeman written down. Looked good and is the guy that will take over if Jackson goes down. I know right now Jacquizz Rodgers is ranked number 2 on the depth chart, but he's proven year in and year out he is not the guy to handle that. Freeman looked good. Freeman will be that guy. Justin Grimes in Houston. If you're a Foster owner, he's the guy you want. And also Terrence West. Terrence West, a lot of hype surrounding this guy. Ben Tate, very injury prone, is a nice handcuff to have. Lastly, Benny Cunningham. I talked about Zach Stacy getting millions of carries this season and going to be injury prone. Well, his body's going to take a beating, and Cunningham is the handcuff you want for him. Let's jump to the wide receivers. Top 30 wide receivers coming at you. Megatron, number 1. Demaryius Thomas, 2. Dez Bryant, 3. AJ Green, 4. Brandon Marshall, 5. Julio Jones, 6. Randall Cobb gets a nice little bump this week. Number 7. Jordy Nelson should be seeing Richard Sherman all over him. So, Cobb gets a little increase in action. Antonio Brown, number 8. Larry Fitz, 9. Alshon Jeffrey, 10. That's right, 2 Chicago Bears in the top 10. Jay Cutler should throw all over the place. Andre Johnson, 11. Michael Floyd, 12. Keenan Allen, 13. This guy, Cordero Patterson, I'm all in with him. Every league I have him, and I'm very ecstatic about that. Big play capabilities, tough receiver. Now it's all on quarterback play if they can get him the ball. Jordy Nelson, 15. Vincent Jackson, 16. Roddy White, 17. Pierre Garçon, 18. Jeremy Maclin, 19. I like Jeremy Maclin as a nice bounce-back candidate. He got hurt last year, but look for that up-tempo offense and Foles to look to him towards the red zone. Could be a very nice target and a nice wide receiver 1. Michael Crabtree, 20. I love the matchup. Kaepernick should throw all day long against Dallas. 21, Eric Decker. I'm higher on Eric Decker than most people. I think he's a legit number 1 receiver. He's shown he can be very successful. He's going to see a lot of double teams this year, which will be a new twist for him. But I think with a nice quarterback play out of Geno Smith, Eric Decker will put up fantastic fantasy numbers. 22, Reggie Wayne. 23, Julian Edelman. 24, Percy Harvin. I am down on Percy Harvin. I see Percy Harvin ranked extremely high in most readings that I do. He's little. They try to force feed him the ball, and he's extremely injury prone. He's electric when he gets the ball in open space, which Could be great for fantasy owners. He's going to score you that big, humongous home run hit, but that injury bug scares me. He can be great 1 second and just destroyed the next. Too little and too injury prone for my liking. 25, Emmanuel Sanders. With Peyton Manning throwing you the rock, you can always make a big play. 26, Victor Cruz. 27, Marquise Colston. 28, Kendall Wright. 29, T.Y. Hilton. 30, Golden Tate. A very nice wide receiver 2 for the Detroit Lions for once. All right, some guys to keep your eye on. Jordan Matthews, Philly. I like him. He's got great potential, and obviously their offense is high octane. Marquise Lee, a fantastic preseason. Quarterback play is lacking, but is right in the running to be their wide receiver 1. And Justin Hunter. This guy, you talk about explosive, he is the guy. If he can finally get consistent reps as their wide receiver 2, which is likely to happen this year, Justin Hunter is going to be fantasy gold for whoever took the risk and put him on their roster. Some sleepers this year. DeAndre Hopkins. He's in year 2. Andre Johnson still demands double teams. I love DeAndre Hopkins and what he can do. The quarterback play, less than spectacular, but they have to throw the ball sometime. And D-Hop should be a great recipient of whatever they can throw his way. Marcus Wheaton, nice number 2 in Pittsburgh. And Terrence Williams, loved him last year, really like him this year. Dez Bryant, doubled and triple teamed. Look for the Cowboys to throw a ton being down. And Terrence Williams, big play guy right there. Yuck. The guys I am staying far away from. Victor Cruz. Huge letdown last year. I called it. Not a fan of the guy. And look for that to continue. A lot of that has to do with quarterback play. Torrey Smith, again, quarterback play, them running the ball too much, and just Baltimore's offense in general. Mike Wallace, he is a one-trick pony. He runs straight lines down the field, and Tannehill's got to squeeze it in there. Not a fan. And lastly, the entire New Orleans Saints wide receiver core. They're great, but that is their downfall. You have great playmakers like Marquise Colston, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Stills. Too many guys. 1 week they'll be great, the next week it'll be a new guy. I just can't ride that roller coaster. I stay away unless your name is Jimmy Graham. And lastly, tight ends. Speaking of Jimmy Graham, number 1. He's about as sure thing as there is out there at tight end. And number 2, he's back. Gronk, 100% healthy, ready to come in and ready to take over games. Think back a couple of years, guys, and how dominant Rob Gronkowski was. He could be just that. For those of you who took the gamble and put him on your team, this is the ultimate risk-reward player out there. He's got huge upside. His ceiling is endless. And with Tom Brady as your quarterback, the sky is the limit. Gronk could have an enormous year this year if healthy. Number 3, Julius Thomas. 4, Vernon Davis. Again, love the 49ers matchup. Number 5, Greg Olsen. Cam Newton is still looking for someone to throw the ball to. Greg Olsen will be that guy when it's not Kelvin Benjamin. 6, Jordan Cameron, same situation. No receivers in Cleveland. Cameron's got to accept the huge workload that he should receive. Kyle Rudolph, big contract. Norv Turner knows how to get the most out of tight ends. Should be a fantastic year for Kyle Rudolph. Jason Witten, PPR monster. Jordan Reed, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is the kind of guy who risk-reward by midseason should be a very, very, very vital part to that Philly offense. I like his upside. Dennis Pitta, Delaney Walker, Charles Clay, and Kobe Fleener round out the list. A couple bust players. Eric Ebron, unfortunately, I'm a Lions fan, just not buying it. Dwayne Allen, and Ladarius Green. I know a lot of people have him on their sleeper radar. It's still Antonio Gates' show. Green will step in there and have a few big plays this season. 2 sleepers to keep an eye on. Well, I don't know if you can call them sleepers. Travis Kelce, after his fantastic preseason, he may be the Chiefs' biggest playmaker other than Jamal Charles. And Safarian Jenkins from Tampa Bay. They cleared Tim Wright out of there. Jenkins is big, tall, athletic, and just the kind of guy that's going to fit right in with the 2 monster receivers they have over there in Tampa. If he's not on your team and is a free agent, he deserves to be on your roster. Could be a gigantic year for Mr. Jenkins. There you go, Spud Nation. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up either on the YouTube channel. My email address, again, craig@thesportscoach.com. Facebook, The Sports Coach. Give me a like. Also, Twitter, give me a follow, The Sports Coach. Thanks again, guys. Good luck in your week 1 matchup. Until next week, we're out.